I'm Kacey Clagett of Appleseed Strategy, which is an allied organization to AECO. I've served as a conference proposal reviewer for over 20 years, reviewing hundreds of submissions, and I've prepared national and regional conference proposals for even longer than that. I'll share some insights from my years as a conference proposal producer and reviewer to help you make a successful conference proposal. Let's cover 6 tips for preparing a winning conference proposal. 1. Know your audience. Do this by going to the conference before submitting a topic. Review recent conference programs for insights into what to propose. Identify whether the conference is a marketing or a direct selling opportunity. How much do you need to be a real thought leader to be accepted? Recognize the importance of client representation even when sales presentations are acceptable by the organization. 2. Deliver value. Take a hard look at what will be noteworthy enough to present. Assess what will capture the selection committee's attention by reviewing the organization's interests, not just the conference theme, but the association's strategic plan, mission statement, and demographics. 3. Create appeal. Consider member interests. Including your client group's peers on your team is usually a must. Attendees will want to hear the perspectives of their peers. It also gives your presentation more validity. Addressing specific member demographics. For example, early stage or mid-career professionals, or different subsets of members. Consider how to relate to the conference theme. Address the membership's current and future organizational issues by sharing lessons learned, tools, best practices. Address the client's client. Help them be better in what they do. 4. Focus on engagement. A successful proposal provides real learning for attendees. Engaging participants in active learning through group exercises is often the best way to proceed. But if you opt for a panel discussion or a case study, provide tools and data that they can take back and use in their own work. Always include time for open questions and answers from your participants. And when it's time for the actual conference session, have your own questions prepared as a backup to spur discussion if it's needed. 5. Think script. A great conference proposal is often like a screenplay. You know who will be talking about what kinds of activities will take place during the session, and what the presentation materials will be. You will know how long people will speak during each segment. You know that the attendees will be given a chance to interact with the presenters, and you know what the room and AV requirements will be like. This means you really have to plan out the session at the proposal stage. Give enough time to do that. Factor in how long it will take to secure your presenters and have them review and approve the presentation. It can take a month to get the team assembled and the proposal drafted. If your team includes presenters from outside your company, factor in more time beyond that. Assume at least a month for developing and approving the conference proposal. 6 to 8 weeks is even better. Follow conference proposal guidelines. It's important. You will lower your chances of being selected if you do it your way, not theirs. As for the presenter team, think hard about who should be there, who should present. The answer comes from who will be in the audience. Representation matters. People will want to hear from their peers, and the presenter group ideally mirrors the demographics of your audience's organizations. Hold team meetings to develop and refine the session proposal. Listen carefully to what your client teammates tell you. As you work on the proposal, think about how you will present, not just the topics. Focus on how you will realize your learning outcomes during the session. Show how you have provided participants with important takeaways and active learning. Use the language and the concept the industry association uses. 6, proof it before submitting. Here's what selection committees look for. Relevance to the conference theme and to the association's greater goals. Expert speakers, meaningful takeaways and active learning, completeness. Well-considered proposals have clearly defined topics, participant engagement, and learning outcomes. Presenter bios are tailored to the industry organization and your session topic. Session proposals spell out who speaks about what, for how long, what will happen during each part of the session, what's the format, are there panel discussions, presentation decks, handouts, workshop activities, polls, participant engagement activities, tools and references that participants can take away, room needs, how the room needs to be set up for AV, and table and chair layouts. So here are some final tips. Approach the proposal like you're preparing for a class, not a pitch. Get an experienced person who is not part of the team to review the proposal before submitting it. Engage the whole team in session proposal development, especially for thought leadership conferences. Rely on the insights of team members who participate in the organization for guidance. Look at past sessions and any guidelines that might be offered. If you still have questions, you can approach the conference organizers for help. Follow directions. If you have proposed this conference session elsewhere, don't just cut and paste it in as is. Get the whole team to assess what is appropriate for this conference and adapt accordingly. This includes your presenter bios. Reviewers will know when it's a canned proposal. Proof everything. Spelling and grammar errors reduce your chances of being accepted. Answer all the required fields. Most submittals are fully online using portals made for conference or award submittals. Make sure your proposal fits into any character or word limits for every field, and make sure it was submitted correctly and before the deadline. Do all of this, and you will have a real shot at speaking.